Hey everybody, good morning. It's Squid. Welcome back to my channel. Oh, how is everybody doing today? I'm sorry, it's an allergy kind of day. I haven't had the time to use my Navage yet and clean this all out. I got crusties in the eyes. It's just a day. But I said I'd be here and I'm here. Um I was going to talk about the Justin Baldoni lawsuit, but then last night I got word that I heard that some new documents were dropped, and it's a doozy. So it looks like Randy has filed a motion for sanctions, but it's not just the motion for sanctions that's the interesting part, it's the why. I opened the first attachment, the first exhibit, and like the first word out of my mind was, or the like out of Bruce's mouth or fingers in this case, because it's an email, is "you scumbag." Like, okay, I know Randy's become a little unprofessional in some emails, which happens. I get it. And some filings have been a little questionable as far as the professionalism, and the snark and the petty has been on full blast. But like, Randy has never, of all the shit that I have seen and all the documents that I have been able to personally see, this is not saying it's never happened, he has never uttered those words, especially in something that is written down. Like, it's one thing, oh, he called me a scumbag over the phone. Can't prove it, wasn't recorded. But he wrote it down in an email. I just like the level of like ridiculousness that this is getting to is just on and off of. Oh yes, Deborah, I'm not saying that I would be, but I'm just saying, like, he's done it, which I think is part of the reason why people have problems with the judge, because all the judge has seen is Randy, his BBB be snarky, and Randy be snarky back. So like that's my issue with Randy snark. Not that I wouldn't, want to be snarky too, but there's a time and a place, and in the motions that the judge sees is, in my opinion, just not the appropriate place, because it makes you look like you're on a level playing field with bubbles, instead of letting the judge see this, which is you being professional, and the judge, or you being professional and BBB not. So I'm not saying there's not a point, but like, my petty ass, this is my petty. When someone is being unprofessional, and I'm trying to prove that they're unprofessional, I go by the book. I follow the rules perfectly. I say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Like, I don't step out of line, because that makes them look worse. That's my level of petty. So when I say I'm petty, it's like, that's what I mean. Like, I will do everything I can to make someone else look bad by just not stooping to that level. Let them be unprofessional. Let them be unethical. Let Bubbles run his mouth. And I'm just going to sit here and watch him burn himself to the ground while I'm saying yes, sir, no, sir, and being uber professional in everything I do with a smile on my face, because that's the kind of petty I am. Yes, decorum. It's like when someone else breaks ranks, you just stand there and you look like you're the one who's being tight, professional, well dressed, well organized, this, and it not only makes you look good in front of the eyes of your CO or whoever you may be standing in front of ready to get your ass chewed, it makes them look worse. And I'm all about making someone look bad by just not doing anything at all. Like, just not doing anything at all. Like, I just smile, nod, say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. And yeah, but this is how I push buttons back. This is how I would push buttons back, is I would be like, uber professional, because when someone wants you to stoop to their level, they will do anything they can. And then the minute you step out of line, they're like, see, he's doing it too. It's like, no, this is my level of petty, where I would be like, because the more you don't say anything, the more pissed that person gets. Yes, silence can be golden. All right. So let's get into this. I apologize for my coughing. My car is not yellow, but if you were to walk outside my house right now, it's yellow. Like it is straight yellow. I'm trying my best, guys. I apologize. I will try to mute myself if I know it's coming. Yeah, I will try to mute myself if I know it's coming, but I haven't used my eye drops today, so my eyes are itchy as sin. All right. Looks around. I was told there were free breakfast burritos in here. Breakfast burritos are not one of my favorite things for breakfast, but I did have a keto bagel and an 2 sips of an energy drink. That's why I think the judge is being meaner to Randy. I honestly think he doesn't want Randy to lower himself. That's a good point. And that's kind of my issue, is like, I think the judge doesn't see all of this stuff that like we see, where what would make Randy snap. It's like it's like when you have siblings and your little brother is picking on you and he goes, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you. But the minute you respond, that's when mommy sees. That's when mom is like, you're both in trouble. I think that's the case with the judge. And that's why I'm like not upset with the judge, because 1, you don't win every battle in a war. And 2, the judge only seems to notice what's in filings. And that's when Randy gets so fed up that he fires back. So I'm liking the fact that he put emails in that show just what kind of buttons that Bubbles is trying to push. And I do have my my water here too, so I'm gonna do my best to not be annoying, because I know when it's annoying to cough on stream anyway, and then when all of a sudden you're wearing headphones and someone just lets like not a little clear the throat, but like lets a let something heck up. People that are wearing headphones are like, oh my god, I'm deaf. Alrighty. Whoop. And this is 11 pages, so we're going to get through this as quickly as possible. Let me do this so it's a little bit better. There we go. Oh yeah, it's pollen in Georgia is it's like, in order to sit on the furniture outside, I actually have to take a towel and like wipe it off, because you can see it. It like, I put my handprint and I put my hand on it and you can see my handprint. My hand will turn yellow. Like, my car looks orange right now. My car is not orange. All right. Motion for sanctions, including judicial default. And you can, once again, I point this out on everything, but you can tell it's Randy's because it says Gainesville Division. Motion for sanctions, including judicial default. Plaintiff Jeremy Hales, by and through undersigned counsel, pursuant to this court order, document 43, hereby moves for sanctions, including judicial defaults. Order dated 12/9 of 2024. This court ruled name-calling, personal attacks, and obstructionist behavior has no place at a deposition or any other proceeding in this case. Experienced lawyers, like the ones involved in this case, should be able to control themselves and their clients, but they apparently cannot, which is why the court will supervise the partial redeposition. Everybody in this case is now on notice. If this type of behavior continues, then there will be sanctions. Those sanctions will not be light. They may include stiff monetary penalties, dismissal of the action, or disciplinary proceedings against the attorneys. So you generally leave ESA. This is what I love that Randy does, is he puts the judge's own words in his motions. So dismissing action as a sanction for unacceptable deposition conduct. Thomas v. Tenneco Packaging Company, 11th Circuit, 2002, affirming disciplinary proceedings against counsel for, among other things, making demeaning remarks about opposing counsel's physical traits and demeanor, and recognizing that federal court has the power to control admission to its bar and discipline attorneys. I like that he used the judge's own words. I think Bruce is going to try to spin this right here about opposing counsel's physical traits. Bruce is going to bring up that people on YouTube make fun of his nose. Before, Bruce, I know you're watching because you're practically stalking me at this point. You can't do that because it's not Randy that's saying it. It's random people on YouTube that are not parties in this case. And you cannot make people parties in this case, even when you try to email them a settlement offer. By the way. Yes. I guess the judge has to give him a chance to respond, but geez, these emails speak for themselves. Yeah. Document 43, rule regulating the Florida Bar 4-8.4 misconduct states a lawyer shall not engage in conduct in connection with the practice of law that is prejudicial to the administration of justice, including to knowingly or through callous indifference disparage, humiliate, or discriminate against litigants, jurors, witnesses, court personnel, and other lawyers on any basis, including, but not limited to, on account of race, ethnicity, gender, religion, national origin, disability, marital status, sexual orientation, age, socioeconomic status, employment, or physical characteristic. Footnote 1. The oath of admission to the Florida Bar requires attorneys maintain the respect of due court justice and judicial officers. Further, as provided in the guidelines for professional conduct, a lawyer should always interact with parties, counsels, witnesses, jurors, or prospective jurors, court personnel, and judges with a courtesy and civility, and should avoid undignified or discourteous conduct that is degrading to the court or proceedings. Florida Bar v. Norkin, Florida of 2013. And then the footnote, Local Rule 11.1G states professional conduct. An attorney must comply with rules of professional conduct that are a part of the rules regulating the Florida Bar, as amended from time to time, or with any set of rules adopted by the Florida Bar in their place, unless federal law provides otherwise. Like, I didn't read the whole, oh yeah, I think he will do that too. The thing is, Jeremy is not a lawyer. There's the caveat to, well, he's making fun. This does not regulate parties' actions. This regulates attorneys' actions. Luckily for Jeremy, he is not subject to Florida Bar rules. Should he still be somewhat professional? Yes. However, he does not need to follow these rules because he is not a lawyer. Benefit of not being a lawyer, huh? I can think of lots of benefits to not being a lawyer, and that is one of them. Living life with FND. How are you this morning? Yep, right there. Remember, Jeremy's not official of the court. He is a layperson. Yep, right there. Well, then that's the thing. Like, it's one thing to make fun of other people, but if your humor is self-deprecating at the same time, it's like you're not like it. It's not like you're singling out one person. You make fun of everybody. That's what I do. If the judge finds in favor of Jeremy and rules accordingly, can this case be used against the defense in the other federal case? I don't see why not. However, I'm not entirely sure, so I can't give you an answer because I'm not a lawyer. But I wouldn't see why not, because it's prior bad acts, like, and it's not a criminal case, so we shall see. Against this backdrop and indirect contravention of the above authorities, Attorney Matskin has sent the following insulting and disparaging emails to his opposing counsel, making derogatory statements regarding Mr. Hales and his opposing counsel. 1, Randy, you scumbag. 22825. And all these are redacted. So, Randy, you scumbag. Before you stupidly and intelligence insultingly respond, or let your imbecile of a client respond using your email. 2. Exhibit 1, this is the exact same derogatory mark made by the respondent in Florida Bar v. Norkin. When Florida 2013, respondent approached Brooks in the hallway of the county courthouse and, in the presence of at least 4 to 6 other attorneys, said very loudly he had spoken to attorneys and confirmed that Brooks was an underhanded and a scumbag. The referee found that Norkin's letters, emails, and public insults disparaged and humiliated Brooks. Florida Bar v. Norkin, 132 Southern District at 86. So we got to go back up. There we go. You continue to refuse to explain what you claim is deficient and what better responses be. And now you'll say you'll do that in a formal letter. You're endlessly ridiculous. Pot, meat, kettle. You could have explained the first time I asked, and the no formal letter changes that you've wasted all this time refusing to respond. 3. Your conduct is always intended to create issues for motions to generate YouTube content. Pull them up. Oh my God. Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. Not going to happen. Like, since certain people were making fun of Randy's nose and make them anti-Semitic. No, that just makes them not dealing with a BS lawyer. And when you are not bound to Florida rules and you can say whatever you want within the bounds of freedom of speech, Bruce has got to deal with it. Like, plus it's kind of obvious. It's the first thing you see. Like, it's kind of hard to miss. I will ensure your shenanigans. And honestly, I love the word shenanigans, but who uses shenanigans in a professional email? I will ensure your shenanigans result in the appropriate discovery orders. 131-25. Counsel, please produce a copy of the whatnot contract. You ignored my offers to maintain confidentiality, then insisted on a joint motion. No motion is needed. Just attorneys and confirm. Oh, sorry, that's the footnote. So footnote 3 was exhibit 3. Just you proposing terms of a confidentiality that I can decide to agree to. It's your obligation to seek such a protective order. I have no obligation to participate in a joint motion. You can simply send me the terms of whatever confidentiality order you would seek so I can decide if to agree without necessity of you filing a motion. If you neither move for an order of protection, confidentiality, nor respond here to provide the terms you need me to agree to for maintaining confidentiality, I will move to preclude the introduction of the whatnot contract as evidence. I realize your conduct is always intended to create issues for motions to generate YouTube content. That's stupid a word. I will ensure your shenanigans result in the appropriate discovery orders. Best regards. Oh, that's like all the best. All the best. And that's footnote 4. Footnote 4 is exhibit 4. This was responded to by the undersigned counsel. What we need is an agreed order of confidentiality. This is what we discussed with the magistrate. Thank you for finally clearing up that you wish us to provide the confidentiality agreement. We will do so. Allow a few more days. Also, you really should stop disparaging opposing parties, attorneys, witnesses, etc. In fact, I urge you to do it. Please stop it. Oh, so he not only like, yeah, good morning. So he not only, oh my goodness. So Randy's not only writing this, like Randy warned him, like asked him, well, not warned him, please stop. Like, please stop it. Like, now the judge can't say, well, you didn't tell him that, he's making it foolproof. Also, this pull him up, exclamation point. Re-stipulation to leave out 540.08 claim. You drop state court motion, offer of settlement for foreman. Pull him up. Oh my God. Footnote 5. Adopting the emoji. Yep. Oh my God. Honestly, oh my God. Sorry. This is like, who does this? Like, even Ben Chu, when he got snarky in his emails with Amber Heard's lawyers, he was still maintaining somewhat of a professional line that he didn't cross. Like, oh, he's migraine inducing. Oh yeah, but wait, there's more. Yes, there's more. I was trying to not say the word that almost came out was not the eggplant. It was this, because I don't see that as an eggplant anymore. It's been hijacked by too many people. So my brain was like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. Re-stipulation to leave out 540.08 claim, and you drop state court motion, offer for settlement. Counsel, I strongly once again urge you to cease from making derogatory remarks towards opposing counsel, witnesses, and parties. Sincerely, Randy Shockett. Exhibit 5, and then footnote 6 was the aubergine or eggplant emoji is commonly used to represent in sexting conversations. This usage has been noted to be common, particularly in the United States as well as in Canada. Oh, at least we're not the only derogatory people. Canadians are right there with us. Sorry, Tammy, and to all my other Canadian people. You apparently you guys use the eggplant emoji the same way. I wish I knew. But wait, there's more. Oh my goodness. Sometimes you just have to just shake your head and be like, this cannot be real. Like, it just cannot be real. Yeah. I know why they do it. It's just, I know the formatting of it, but it just sucks. It makes it, my brain doesn't compute. Oh yes. To use an emoji as unprofessional as some might be, and in emails, and lawyers' emails getting snarky with each other, I don't know any other lawyer, and this is what I could be wrong, but I don't know any other lawyer that has used emojis in an email that ended up in a court filing. Hey, Yamaha biker, pencil, penguin, pens. Oh, Yamaha biker, I need to talk to you. I need to know if you'd be willing to do a dramatic reading with me. I have a transcript of a court proceedings that was not recorded, but I have the transcript, and I even have the transcript of voir dire of the jurors, and Captain Kurt and I are going to read it, but we need a little extra fun. I have all 466 pages of the transcript of Captain Kern's daughter's unaliving trial, and we're going to read it. Oof. Because if you guys don't know, Captain Kern, his daughter was tragically unalived by her boyfriend back in 2022, and we were going through all the documents in his daughter's case. So, all right. Press inquiry on Hales v. Preston and Cook. Mr. Luthman, may I suggest another question for you to include for Attorney Shockett to respond to? What due diligence did you perform before submitting your client's perjured affidavit alleging the defendants made online statements calling him a child in order to influence exercise of federal jurisdiction? Attached affidavit paragraph 19 contains the perjury. The judge explicitly cited in denying a 12B1 motion to dismiss exercising federal jurisdiction based on the minimum amount in controversy in reliance on the perjury. Best regards. Oy, 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 oy. YouTube content is created by the behavior of those attorneys, of which I believe not much longer. Another issue brought up here is BBB attested in his app for temporary bar to he had no pending discipline. Oh, that's a really good point. Yeah, perjury. Perjury. Oh, Deborah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, we did a 5-part series where we read through all the documents that he had never seen before. And we have all the transcripts. Thanks to Sir Frank Otter going to North. She wasn't a child. She's an adult. She was an adult at the time. She was not a child. It was just everybody is somebody's child. But that's understandable. We're going to read through it when we find the time. It's just content right now is like, holy crap. Too much to do and not enough time. A couple of Griffin, Georgia. I'm so sorry. I think Captain Kern's daughter was, I want to say 18 or 19. No, she was in her early 20s. I feel bad for not remembering right now. Attorney Shockett, I have a couple of press questions about you and your client, Jeremy Hales, and his ongoing federal court litigation. Have you discussed the harmful anti-Semitic statements Mr. Hales continues to make, including Deuce Foreskin? That is not anti-Semitic. That is not anti-Semitic. Like, consider... Yeah, right here. Right there. Slights about attorney Matskin's nose and brazen suggestions that Matskin should find Jesus. All right. My responses to these would be no, because they're not anti-Semitic. Deuce Foreskin is not anti-Semitic. Slights about attorney Matskin's nose. Once again, he's not an attorney, so he is not bound to any of the bar rules that the lawyers are. And I'm sorry, some people do need Jesus. Just saying. I am not uber religious, but some people just need Jesus. If you know, you know. 2, have you tried to counsel Mr. Hales against hate? Rabbi Belinsky is copied here too, in case you need additional resources to combat anti-Semitism. This from the person who is friends, and I say this loosely because I don't know the nature of their exact relationship. Friends with DUI guy. Larry is Jewish. I'm just saying. Also, just because you have a big nose, that's not anti-Semitic. I know a few people who are of a certain certain descent that have a big nose. Savan Matosian of the Savan podcast. If you're a CrossFitter, you know Savan. He's got a big nose. Makes fun of it all the time. He's not Jewish. I can't remember where he's from right now. Yeah, Randy is Jewish also. Yes. Italians would beg to differ. There we go. I think Jesus is enough for all of us. Yeah, probably me too. Armenian. Yes, Armenian. Thank you. I was like, I know it, but if I say it, I'm going to mess it up because that's not it. Yes, he's Armenian. Thank. Is your client accepting and that's redacted. Explain to me how putting forward a settlement offer to end litigation in federal court can violate a state protective order in a faraway state. Did you sleep through? Whoa. Yeah. It's all either that or it's about the settlement offer that was emailed to a bunch of people. Yeah, and it's one thing to make fun of other people when you think you're perfect, but when you make fun of other people and you're like self-deprecating, your humor is self-deprecating, like you're not singling anybody out. Yeah, I got that email too. So the email that went out to Megan, Tug, Shizzy, and maybe some other people, I got it too. I just emailed it to the judge, and that's all I did. So, you know. He cheated me at 78. I got a hunk of nose. I admit I need Jesus. Did you sleep through law school when they taught about communications made for express legal purposes of the supremacy clause? I'm not. Who says this? Okay, when someone says I'm not trying to be a dick or I'm not trying to be an asshole, generally what they are about to say is either being an asshole or being a dick, or could come across if not explained correctly. Yeah, you can't use it on YouTube. They blocked it. I'm just trying to get where your client is coming from. Does your client need this case to continue because he couldn't produce interesting content otherwise? Correct me if I'm wrong. I did not watch Jeremy Hales before this, and I really don't watch him now because real life is crazy right now. But I'm pretty sure he had content long before these people showed up in his life. I'm just gonna say I'm pretty sure Jeremy can come up with content. I'm pretty sure. Like, fortunately, I don't have to say that. I don't give a shit about feelings. Well, there's that. Like, how is your client removed? This is yeah, that word always gets me. Megan Fox, Tug, and the rest of his YouTube echo chamber. Is it money, traffic, clicks, a combination, or something else? Yeah, what do they say? If you find a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Garden vegetables. Thanks in advance for your client's response. This is what I say to make someone feel bad if they don't respond. When I say thanks in advance for your cooperation, that means I'm expecting you to cooperate. And if you don't, you should feel bad. Like, it is, yeah. Dude amassed 500K way before all this drama. Yeah. Like there are people who had channels before this, i.e. Tug, Megan, Shizzy, and there were people who have channels after this, Tug, Megan, Shizzy. It's not a YouTube echo chamber. I mean, like, sometimes I wish people would talk about other things besides just this case, but like, it's not a YouTube echo chamber. It's not everybody saying the same thing. Everybody has their own takes on it. Are they similar? Yes. That's why when someone said I was copying everybody else, it's like, no. Because I'm one of those people who doesn't care about all the outside crap. So I just read these and then make my opinions based on these, not what everybody else is saying. It's part of the reason that I don't watch everybody else anymore, because I don't want to be influenced when I read something by what somebody else said. And I'm sorry if y'all hear my vacuum cleaner is about to enter the room. The thing decided it wanted to clean on its own last night at 10 o'clock. It just started randomly. I don't know why. Calling his opposing counsel, Clounsel. Dear Clounsel, I assume you have no malpractice carrier in light of your background, but if you do, then I recommend you place them on notice and invite them to contact me through their counsel. Best regards. Well, that's my concern. Like, bringing the like, he's the Gmail, so professional, I know, right? Yeah, it's my shark little wannabe Roomba. I call everything a Roomba, like we call everything a Kleenex, even though it's facial tissue and Kleenex is a brand. Roomba is a brand, but if I say Roomba, everybody knows what I'm talking about. Side note. Well, there are other examples of these suffice for the purposes of this motion. Mr. Matskin's emails evince bad faith in his conduct towards opposing counsel and the opposing party. They fly in the face of and were all sent after this court's order warning of severe sanctions. The emails are saturated with invective directed at opposing counsel. There is a great many other examples of Mr. Matskin's public broadcasts which are of similar nature should the court request those. While passionate and zealous advocacy may be one thing, Mr. Matskin's emails cross the line into sanctionable misconduct. The emails are evidence of bad faith, justifying the revocation of his pro hoc vice status. Oh, Randy, you're my favorite. Oh, Randy. If you show the email before that, it's BBB collaborating questions. Yeah, well, and we're gonna get to the attachments. Good morning. Good morning, Flash fan. You want a Roomba, you can't vacuum without pain, seizures, and severe malaise. Yeah, vacuuming is one of my favorite activities, but now that we have hardwood floors and I have a 2-step process instead of just vacuuming, that was my housewarming gift from Mr. Squid, so that I had to do a little less work. Now all I have to do is wipe the floors down and not vacuum or sweep and wipe them down. So there's that. So he's like, I know you like to vacuum, but we got this anyway, which is helping tremendously. Footnote 8, the undersigned is fully aware and cognizant that this court has previously characterized a statement he made which may have been taken out of context because the context was asking attorneys to stipulate a prior restraint of his client's rights under the U.S. Constitution. The suggestion was made multiple times over the email string and by phone. Each time it was correctly and properly rejected out of hand. Attorneys are sworn to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. Some attorneys have never read the Constitution of the United States of America, so they don't know what they have to uphold. This is what was meant by lacking basis in all jurisprudence. Wherefore, plaintiff hereby requests this court to issue sanctions against Mr. Matskin, praying that these sanctions will not be light and that they include revocation of his pro hoc vice status. Okay. Monetary penalties, judicial default, dismissal of the counterclaims, and disciplinary proceedings. Oh, I would hope so. Yeah. Doreen usually writes, yeah. Going to watch any basketball games this weekend? I watched the Bucks Lakers game last night. That was a really good day. That was a really good game. But doesn't the 18th is when I'll start watching basketball. But if any of y'all want to make a bracket, let me know. We'll get down into that. I haven't paid much attention to college basketball this year, so I can't say that I would be my bracket would be good. However, I'm still willing to try it out because making a bracket is always fun, even though you don't know what you're talking about and you might not get. Sometimes it's just and then this was the judge's order. This is the one I forgot to open. And we're going to get into all the motions. I opened up all the exhibits. I did open the first one. I'm trying to keep I'm trying. I almost read this as Sanction Sunday. Maybe we should start a new trend, Sanction Sunday. It would be funny to see when your free lawyer loses your case without ever having to go to trial. Yeah, that would be something interesting. Duke lost their number one player the other day. Yeah, some of these emails are like, King Paco, you know you're my dude, but some of these emails are like, I wouldn't even write these emails. I wouldn't even write these emails to somebody I didn't like, because emails can be, when you write things in text, or email that are rude. Like, that's why you're never be rude in emails. You can be snarky, but never be rude. Because when you're rude, it's written down. Because if you're on a phone call and you're rude, it was a phone call. No one can prove it unless the phone call was recorded. But when it's in writing, that's why you never text when you're angry. Never text when you're angry. Alrighty. Let's make this one bigger. This was that first one that he was talking about. Randy, you scumbag. Oh. Oh, I always show the whole thing. Yeah, I always show the whole thing. That's why we read through the whole thing, whether it is boring or not. Because if we don't read through the boring parts, I never want to be accused of not reading everything and taking things out of context. So even the boring parts, sorry, y'all, we have to suffer through. Just because if we don't read through the boring parts, and some of the boring parts are some of the most informative parts. Yes, the juicy parts are fun, but the dry stuff is yeah. Yeah, also if you pick and choose, it's biased. I try not to be biased. The only thing that I am biased against is Bruce, because he talked about my child and what threatened my family integrity by threatening to call CPS. So it's oh yes, AT1. And reading through I've mentioned Captain Kern's case earlier, reading through the jury instructions, I found issues, even though the jury instructions were dry and boring. I found many issues that if I were the prosecutor, I would have not let into jury instructions. Or I would have added things if I were the prosecutor, like, I don't know, the fact that manslaughter is a felony. Yeah, it's personal now. So I am just, the only person that I am truly against in this case is Bruce. You know, other than that, like, I have no ill will against anybody. Rule 4-4.4, respect for rights of third persons. In representing a client, a lawyer may not use means that have no substantial purpose other than to embarrass, delay, or burden a third person, or knowingly use methods of obtaining evidence that violate the legal rights of such person. You better take steps to remove the addresses from public document in docket number 6. And we'll get to that. I have that open too. Before you stupidly and intelligently insultingly, if you're going to insult someone, like, what? Wow, there's better ways to do it. I'll help you. Respond, or let your imbecile of a client respond using your email that my threat of a grievance is a violation of Florida Rule of Professional Conduct 4-3.4G, as I have known since the outset of how to determine you have been to get me to violate it. This threat is not solely to obtain an advantage in a civil matter. It gives no advantage. There is no requirement for the summonses. And this is one of those words that looks wrong, but it's correct. Like, it looks wrong every time I see it, but it's right. To be filed with the parties' addresses. You did that on purpose to dox our addresses. You are the worst of all dirtbag lawyers I've ever dealt with. Oh, like, and this could be a difference between what happens in Massachusetts and you're in Florida now. So, like, yeah, so that's, Timothy, that's the reason that I started covering this case. Was I went on a podcast with somebody that they don't like, and he asked me one question of what I thought about the case, and all I said was something about I was worried about the child. I don't know exactly what I said, but I was like, I don't know much else besides, but that child concerns me. Like, that gave license for people to start going into my chat and threatening to call CPS on me. Well, we ran an IP traces on those accounts, and they came back to Bruce and Tamara. So, yeah. So I filed a police report because they threatened to call CPS on me because of my child. Yeah, my child was holding a Apple Pencil. So my audio cut out. Oh no! But I'm also I'm also like skipping around because I want to. When it comes to my child, I want to word things very, very carefully before I go into mama bear mode. And Flash fan, I think it was the fact that I was just like saying one word, and I think that was my voice, not the audio itself. Because I'm very when it comes to my child, I choose my words very carefully. Oh yeah, this was before a bunch of you guys. At this time, I only had like 1,000 subscribers tops. This was back in October. So many of y'all, that's the only reason I started talking about this case, was Bubbles threatened to call CPS on me for my daughter walking and running in the background playing with my Apple Pencil, because I would rather have her draw on my iPad with my Apple Pencil than, I don't know, do what she did yesterday and draw all over my floors and her own body with dry erase marker. So because I talked about, I just made one comment about the, because I made one comment about being worried about the little girl, that gave them license to talk about my my child. So and threatened to call CPS on me. So that's the reason I started talking about this case. Not because I'm pro Jeremy, not because I'm anti Lynette. It's because Bubbles threatened me, and I know talking about it would annoy the crap out of him. So that's why I started talking about it. So for those of you who weren't here, for those of you who weren't here during that time, that is the only reason. So when I tell you, I literally have no ill will against either party, but Bruce. Bruce threatened to call CPS on my family. So I filed a police report because I had the IP addresses and everything, and I filed a police report. I said, if you threaten me again, I will file a police report. So my old town has a police report on record, and the town that Bruce lives in got a phone call about him too, and they threatened, which is why there are now Bubbles love letters by Shizzy. Oh yeah, Shizzy had my back. Megan and Tug did too. Yeah? You want something? Can you bring it, Daddy? Okay. Wait 1 second. I will be right back. I have to go see what little girl wants, because we're still in we want something, but we can't quite express our needs yet. I will be right back. Grab some coffee.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Thank you guys for your patience. Mr. Squid isn't working today, but he ran to town for something. So I My son gets mad when I ask him what he wants to eat. Yeah, she usually tells me, but she's saying candy because she wants jelly beans because I usually keep jelly beans on my desk during this time of year, which is why I don't lose weight, but that's a whole nother story. Why is it when this track starts off, it reminds me of Nickelback on Helium? I don't know. That was made for me by Shenny Graham. Yell Rock, she's awesome. I've gotten so much help with this channel. Like anything good you see on here is either the result of Rosalind or Shenny or people helping me. Like, hey Mussy, how are you? I still have to do what I said I'd do yesterday. All right. If anyone's address gets doxxed because of someone getting it from these summonses, I will immediately file a grievance against you. Randy can't control what other people do. Randy cannot control what other people do. Like, each of the defendants is blind carbon copied on this so they can decide what to do on their own behalf. You'll face multiple Rule 11 motions and vexatious litigation lawsuits in addition to bar complaints. The journalist can ask for your comment if they wish. In my case, no. The police requested or recommended that I get an order of protection, but I didn't want to do that because I think I shouldn't have to get an order of protection against a grown man when asked to be left alone. Yeah, there's that. YouTube likes when you redact it, so I did. But there's that one email. So this is what he was referring to. The summons, the document 6 was in the new case. And I think I got all of them. I did redact them just because I would like my video to stay up longer than a day. So y'all can see exactly what is being referred to. Yeah, that email was in regards to the new federal case. But it broke the judge's rule to be professional and not be disparaging to each other. So it was all of this. So each of the summons has their address on it. So, alrighty, let's go to the second document. (96-2). And StreamYard makes this really hard because it lets me go between windows on Chrome. But every time that I try to switch between documents, PDF documents, I have to close it out and re-share my screen. So, and you notice when he put these in here, Randy did redact them, or whoever wrote it, Doreen, whoever. Yeah. From Bruce to Randy, you continue to refuse to explain what you claim is deficient and what better responses mean. And now say you'll do that in a formal letter. You're endlessly ridiculous. Oh, it sounds like yeah. You could have explained the first time I asked, and no formal letter changes that you've wasted all this time refusing to respond. On Wednesday, February 26th at 1:37 p.m., Randy wrote, "Counsel, I assume you have read the order of today denying your motion. Your second response is insufficient. As I have said all along, your boilerplate objections failed, so please respond to the other remaining requests. Your attempts to renew any objections are inadequate and inappropriate at this point. Per the order of today, if you have no responsive documents other than what you have produced to all remaining requests, I ask that you respond as you did for a request on 5, 11, and 12. However, if you are saying that you don't have your own legal services agreement available, that's going to be a problem. I suggest you take a reasonable amount of time to do a diligent search with your clients participating. If something was available and it's now deleted pursuant to the request instructions, you must say so. We already have proof of her deleting her entire Facebook group. For example, I'm trying to narrow the issues here. You will be receiving next week a formal deficiency letter if we can't get this resolved. This is to protect everyone, and because you have been avoiding phone calls on the subject for almost 10 days now. I look forward to your response. This is a... yeah, and most people do redact addresses or like skip over them really quickly and ignore them, but it's public information. It's public information. It's just yeah. And I'm real this motion right here is what will sway my opinion of the judge, because before that all the judge saw was Bruce be unprofessional and Randy be quacking back or clapping back. And so all the judge saw was like, just like I said, when your sibling is picking on you and like hitting you and you're not doing anything, and the minute you slap them back, that's when your parents see, like, and you both get in trouble. That's my interpretation and how I'm seeing what the judge is thinking. Because all he's seen is Randy be snippy back. Bruce, yes, be unprofessional, but Randy be snippy back in motions. This will determine what the judge, how the judge sees everybody. So it's this is my, because this is showing the evidence that Bruce lied. So and that's 2. Here is 3. Hey, Broke Mama, how are you? So this will really determine what I think of the judge, because of the fact that before that, all he saw was arguing back and forth, not one side being worse than the other. So, ooh, fun. All right, from Bruce to Randy, Rule 7.1b, confer re-whatnot contract. Counsel, please produce a copy of the whatnot contract. You ignored my offers to maintain confidentiality and then insisted on a joint motion. No motion is needed, just your proposing terms of confidentiality that I can decide to agree to. It's your obligation to seek such a protective order. I have no obligation to participate in a joint motion. You can simply send me the terms of whatever confidentiality order you would seek, so I can decide if to agree without the necessity of you filing a motion. If neither move for an order of protection, confidentiality, nor respond here to provide the terms you need me to agree for maintaining confidentiality, I will move to preclude the introduction of the whatnot contract as evidence. I realize your conduct, as always, is intended to create issues for motions to generate YouTube content. Oh my goodness. I will ensure your shenanigans result in the appropriate discovery orders. Okay, Bruce really could have written this where it didn't come out as snarky as it did. Like, the rest of this, I don't have quite an issue with, as far as like the confidentiality, the way he wrote. It was actually pretty professional, almost like he didn't write it. And then you get to this last paragraph and he just couldn't help himself. He was doing great. Like, you have an issue with someone, this is the way to work it out. I don't blame him for the first part, but this highlighted paragraph, like, you can't Stop trying to make fetch happen. Like, he just couldn't help himself. If he would have wrote that last paragraph like he wrote the rest of it, yeah, Randy might have had an issue with its contents, but as far as the disparaging or rude or unprofessional, he couldn't have had anything to. You know what? I should try that. So I've never used Chat GPT. It's a I've never used Chat GPT, but I upgraded my phone. And now Apple has an app called Playground, which is an AI image generator on my phone. Like, I don't even have to go to a website to do it. Have a good one. Except you can use AI to determine if AI was used to write an article. I'm sure college professors have to do that all the time. Windows has Copilot AI. And this was updated a while ago. I just never talked about it. Like, document 4. I really wish StreamYard was better about sharing these windows, because I shouldn't have to close every time. All right. Stipulation to leave out something for Foreman. I'm assuming that's the settlement agreement, but yeah. From Randy to Bruce, counsel, I strongly once again urge you to cease from making derogatory remarks towards opposing counsel, witnesses, and parties. Do you think the judge has a timeline, or no, I can't even think of the word, about like how to put all this in? Like, how do you think the judge is keeping all this straight? Because this is giving me a headache, like trying to keep these dates straight, and I write them all down most of the time. I couldn't imagine trying to yeah. From Bruce to Randy, his only response was, pull them up. We disagree. Your offer is also rejected. So from Randy to Bruce. Like, it. So weird. That was 4. And this is 5. Boy. Okay, from Bruce to Richard Luthman, CC Randy, Michael, and Rabbi Jacob Belinsky. Press inquiry on Hales v. Preston and Cook. Dear Mr. Luthman, may I suggest another question for you to include for Attorney Shockett to respond to? There we go. There's the $1 million. As people know, like, I have books on my shelf right here about the brain. I am very inquisitive on what goes on in people's minds. I have no desire whatsoever to see what goes on in his brain. Not a one. There are just some things that are better left untested. Although I really would like to give him a slums screening. And slums sounds bad, but it's St. Louis University mental status exam. I've given it 1,000 times. It's a cognitive screening. I gave it to my dad because my dad asked me what I did at work every day. And I was like, well, here's one thing. Let me give this to you. So when I tell my dad that I told him something and he says, I don't remember, it's, well, remember when I gave you that slums and you missed a couple of questions on the memory part? I think the hamster is out of its wheel. Yeah, this is I've noticed. I don't use that word misogyny very often. But he seems to have a problem with women. Megan, for one, that was the first woman he had a problem with. Then I was in Mo in the Deep End's chat. He had a problem with her. She had no idea who he was. Neither did her main mod, Wolfie. I shut that shit down right away, and he went after her only for the simple fact that she was going on a stream with Megan to talk about this. She has never talked about it on her own channel, and she won't. She's too busy with other stuff. But yes, Emma at Randy's office. Emma had emailed Bruce, and Bruce responded to Randy. It's like, no, yeah, that. It's like, yeah. I think he has a problem with women who can hold their own. Just my personal opinion. Yeah. Kind of like your troll. Yeah. Flash fan, you haven't been trolled recently, have you? Because if you have, I will take care of that. This is where it's one thing for a journalist to ask an attorney questions. It's another thing for another attorney to go, I think you should ask this question. Hoy. And I'm sorry, my recall is a little worse today than some days, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the utter stupidity that I'm reading. Maybe it's just the fact that I have like 800 million things to do today, and I didn't write most of them down, so I don't have a list to go off of. But my brain is my recall and brain fog is worse. Oh yeah, there's that too. Hi, beautiful. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, you. Hi.
You want to come up here? Oh, no, you just want Shabuzi. Okay. Yes. Okay. So the brain is not functioning like it should be. Yeah. What due diligence did you perform before submitting your client's perjured affidavit alleging the defendants made online statements calling him a child rapist in order to influence exercise of federal jurisdiction? The attached affidavit, paragraph 19, contains the perjury. The judge explicitly cited in denying the 12B1 motion to dismiss exercising federal jurisdiction based on the minimum amount in controversy in reliance on the perjury. Best regards, Matskin. I used to use StreamYard, but I don't like it because they make you remove the shared information because it's the new update, and they're also expensive. Like once I find something that I like better, I'm gonna do a test stream on probably Streamlabs, but I haven't figured out how I'm going to. Yeah, I don't get brain fog. Oh, and the amount of people who, even though I talk about it all the time, the amount of people that realize that I had brain surgery in 2020. So some of my, a lot of my brain fog is a medical condition that the brain fog never gets better. So I was surprised. I'm sorry for those of you who don't know me. Back in 2020, I had brain surgery because my brain was falling out of my skull. So I had to I have a metal or a titanium plate right here. They took a piece of my skull and they didn't put it back. So sometimes when I get brain fog, like it's not me being tired. It's not me being, it's just sometimes I have good days where I can remember everything. And sometimes like I just can't remember things. And that's why I love interacting with chat, because y'all tell me the word I'm trying to find. Like yeah. So On Saturday, February 8th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m., Richard wrote, Attorney Chockett, I have a couple of questions about you and your client, Jeremy Hales, and his ongoing federal court litigation. Have you discussed and we read through this. This was in the, yeah, we need to have a brain fog buddies group. Yeah. The brain fog is real. Had to remove the cells at the Navy classified data store. Oh yeah. The good thing about my brain fog is I couldn't even tell you the classified information I worked on because I can't remember. I can remember a couple of acronyms, but I couldn't tell you what they stand for. Like, Hank, I love smog instead of fog. Yeah. Well, fog makes it seem like it's natural. Smog is man-induced. So, all right. But number 4 is where the problem. Explain to me how putting forward a settlement offer to end litigation in federal court can violate a state protective order in a faraway state. It's the third-party communication, I believe. That would be one. Did you sleep through law school when they taught about communications made for express legal purposes of the Supremacy Clause? Not trying to be a dick. Oh, bless your heart. Bless your heart. Oh, bless your precious little heart. Yeah, I can understand that. So what did I do? Just started a YouTube channel because I'm so my greatest fears in life are reading in public or in public speaking. Like, ugh. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just trying to get where your client is coming from. Squid is a female Judge Arthur. Does your client need this case to continue because he couldn't produce interesting content? We discussed that in detail. How is your client removed? Oh, I can never pronounce this word. I can read it. I know what it means. Remove, but it never comes out. Megan Fox Tug and the rest of his YouTube echo chamber. Is it money, traffic, clicks, a combination, or something else? Garden vegetables? I'm not trying to be a nose. 30, my son, same wait times after he was hit by a car while crossing the street. He's 30 now and STG1. Ooh, subsurface. I use OBS, but you cannot bring nobody like guests, but it's free. Plus I use Meld Studio, it's free. Yeah, I think Slug uses OBS, and whenever I've gone on there to help him, I've had or read stuff with him. I called in using Discord. So I think I might use Streamlabs. I'm going to do a couple of test streams just to see how it works and play around with it. So, like, this is what makes me laugh. Muckrack profile, Substack. Is this for real? Yeah. TM2. I was an AT1 or AT2. So that's why when AT1 talks to me, I call him my LPO. He wasn't my LPO, but Brazil is around. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member. And we have a couple of super chats to get to because we are at the end of this. Ung here on Good Old Two's Foreskin at it again. Thank you for the $5 super chat. And Tie Sticks, no proofing against this amount of foolishness. Yeah. Like it, this is just, yeah. You were an OS one. The Mister was an AO. If you know, you know. Morning, Captain Karen. Yes, and if you haven't hit the like button, please do share this stream. We're just doing a little stuff this morning. This was supposed to be a stream about this is supposed to be a stream about Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, but you know, stuff happens. And then we have the judge's order, which just Kevin, $6 a box makes me not want to buy them because That way I'm not spending a lot of money to not lose the weight that I want to watch. Like, I watched a video on how to bring people on OBS, but you're not going to like it. I'm very tech not savvy. I'm a boomer. Boomer. Yeah, they lie. You can eat. Thin mints do not make you thin. This is just saying that the plaintiff has a motion for sanctions. The court will require defendants to expedite their response in opposition. Accordingly, defendants must file a response to plaintiff's motion for sanctions by no later than 5 p.m. Central on March 20th. It is currently March 14th. This was filed yesterday, so they have a week. We will see what happens. Yeah, I do like I do like how they I freeze all this stuff. Like when even M&Ms and Reese's peanut butter cups. Reese's peanut butter cups are the best frozen. So yeah, normally 15 days, but the judge only giving them 5 because this is being extended out for so long. Like they call them thin mints because of the purchase of them thins your wallet. So we will keep an eye on documents. I don't know if Bruce is going to take the whole 5 days or 6 days. I think he probably will. He'll probably file it Saturday night. Saturday night is probably when it's going to be filed because that's when everything gets, well, not everything, but that's when he likes to seem to file motions on weekends, which is fine with me. Methinks the judge is just a bit perturbed. Yeah. This lawsuit is just it's like this could be made so much simpler. But I do disagree with the judge because in the sense of he had that timeline and he put out that, I think it was document 20 something, where it was a timeline of events. And this has just taken on, let me run a quick look at the I just have to log into Pacer real quick. And I can't remember what day it was, but it was this is what I see when I look at Pacer. So this is what I see. There was I can't, 19, that's all these dismissive. It was an order, initial scheduling order. This was signed by Judge Windsor. So it's the initial scheduling order was what I think they should have, like, corporate disclosure statement, timeline, discovery due by 4/7, trial set for 8/13. Like, I think that if you don't go by that order, you need to, or final scheduling order was 37. This, you need to just stick, the judge just needs to stick with that. And like, I gave y'all an order, a final scheduling order. We're sticking with it. If you don't like it, too bad. Like, it's just, oh, I got to send you that interview Court TV did with Sean Stein's attorney. I will think we should do that tomorrow. Won't let you say a word. Sometimes YouTube censors my own comments. Like, I will type a comment and it won't allow me to even put it in there. And it's like, it's my stream. Like, I was saying a video ought to be bring people in using OBS, but I wish you good luck and I'll help you if you need. Thank you. All right. On that note, there is nothing new. This is what we just read, document 96 and 97. There is nothing new. And the easy way to find the, I haven't, I Googled his name and all I got was his preferences, which are virtually the same as this, or as Belatho. However, he I can't find much information with him. Judge Belitho did an interview. If you're on this case and you want to go and find the new case, instead of trying to search for the new case, if you do have a Pacer account, just go to the old case and it says related case. And then you run report. And there is the summons, which I showed, I showed why the judge is, I showed what Bubbles had an issue with the summons. So we showed document 6. I have all these documents in my, on my computer as well, except for the civil cover sheet, because that's not important. But here's the docket annotation. This is what makes me curious about the new judge. Docket annotation by court to all counsel. Read document 4, amended document filed by Jeremy Bryan Hales. Counsel is advised that for all future pleadings in this case, and for any other cases assigned to Judge Hinkle, exhibits attached to a document filing should be properly identified in the docket text when posting the document. Example, deposition of John Doe rather than Exhibit A. So this judge seems to be very strict on how he wants things filed, but in his list of preferences, it wasn't there. And that's where the judge can put what they prefer and how they prefer to run things. It's just, so I think that this judge, the new judge, is going to be a little more strict. Referred by Judge Frank and run by Judge Hinkle, Robert Hinkle. Baby girl, get down. Her new, I have to get going. Her new favorite activity is to, Gabby, YouTube wouldn't let you say that. I'm going to read it out loud. Peanut butter cups frozen and then put them in a blender and put on top of ice cream. So good. That's what YouTube wouldn't let me say. YouTube is weird. All right. On that note, we are going to get going. I will be doing a morning update tomorrow talking about all the small cases. We'll probably watch that interview. And then I'm taking the rest of the weekend off. And on Monday, we have a new case that Flash Fan informed me about. A kid in Wisconsin who allegedly unalived his mother because he was inspired by the Menendez brothers. And if you know the Menendez brothers, you know what they did. So we shall talk about that on a case of the Mondays, Monday morning, 9 a.m. If anything else comes up, I will try to get to it when we get to it. If not, y'all have a great night, and I will talk to you guys in the morning. Bye.
Bye.
You want to say bye?
Bye.
Come here. Oh, she's like, no, I'm not doing it. You're going live on Wednesday, but not sure what time. Ooh, that should be awesome. Y'all have a great day. The little didn't want to say bye.